Antonio Brown, Lord have mercy. He retired as a Raider. He went there, then he froze his feet. He caused all this controversy to try to get traded. He badmouthed the coach. He badmouthed the quarterback. He badmouthed the general manager. Never played it down and then got cut. If you just stick to the football field, he's a Steeler legend. That 6-year stretch that he had is literally unmatched. If you had Antonio Brown on your fantasy league team, he led you to fantasy league football victories. Him by himself. Does he deserve to have his number retired? Absolutely not. You can't be bad-mouthing your quarterback like that. He burned every bridge that Pittsburgh has. And there's a whole bunch of bridges in Pittsburgh, but is he still a Steeler legend based on what he did on the field? 100% absolutely.
Welcome to Big B Daily. No frauds allowed. Welcome to Big B Daily. No frauds allowed.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Big B Daily. This is your man, Big B. We are live. I appreciate everybody showing up. It has been a few days, man. Been a few days, so I appreciate everybody being in here. Was off on Friday, so glad everybody still showed up today. Thank you, guys. What is going on? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Got a lot to go over today, man. A lot of stuff happened in the sports world. We're going to get into that today. But before we do, again, want to thank everybody for showing up, man. The US Open was yesterday. We saw Rory just choke down the stretch. Lord have mercy. The moment was literally too big for Rory. 3 bogeys in the last 4 holes. An absolute choke job. Then Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark again going at it. Angel Reese, look, I've done my best to try to defend her, but yesterday, that was just inexcusable. I mean, it was a foul. It was a flagrant foul. And then for you to come out and blame the refs afterwards, I mean, people saying you're classless, yeah, that was a classless move. I'm not saying the girl or the woman is classless, but that was a classless move. It just is. We got to call it what it is, people. We got to call it what it is. So, and then lastly, but not least, we got game 5 of the NBA Finals tonight. Boston looking to close it out. They literally walked through game 4. It looked like they had no intentions of trying to win a championship in Dallas. They wanted to try to do it in Boston. So we'll cover all that and more. Again, as always, people, if you like the show, you want to help support the show, man, we appreciate everybody in here. We're going to talk about a lot of different stuff today. I always have that Q&A section where you can ask about anything you want to ask near the end of the show once we cover all 3 topics. So we appreciate it. If you're in here, remember, like, follow, subscribe. If you like the show and want to help support the show, you got your super chats, you got your gifts, you got your tips. Like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's get into the show, people. Let's get this thing going. First thing, Bryce DeChambeau wins the US Open, or did Rory choke? So, all I'm saying, did Rory choke? I think Rory choked. Look, I mean, what else are we going to say? He bogeys 3 of the last 4 holes. He's got a 2-shot lead. He bogeys 3 of the last 4 holes. Not only that, Bryce DeChambeau didn't want to win. He was trying to give the tournament away. And Rory says, hold my beer. Hold my beer. Jiminy Christmas. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy what happened, man. For me personally, I think Rory just choked. You can't miss a 2.5-foot putt to save par. 2.5 feet and you slam it past the hole. What are you doing, man? Then on 18, you miss a 4-footer? No. Can't do it. I'm sorry. Just can't do it. It is the ultimate choke job. When you think of choke jobs, This was the definition of a choke job. It just was. I'm sorry. I know people are not going to like that. I know people are going to be upset by that. But truth is truth. Rory choked. And again, it wasn't that DeChambeau went out there and played some great golf. He didn't. He was trying to give the tournament away too. It was just Rory did it in a greater fashion. Now, I will say that Bryce DeChambeau, he made an outstanding shot on 18 out of the bunker, a blast shot out of the bunker, 53 yards, just an absolute blast shot to get it within 4 feet to win the tournament. I mean, outstanding shot. A lot of people chunked that, hit it over the green, or they hit too far behind the ball, hits the lip of the bunker and doesn't get out. Under those circumstances, the guy made a clutch shot. I'll give him credit for that. I'll give him credit. But man, Rory, there's a lot of Rory fans out there. They got to be sick. You saw Rory. You saw the picture of him in the locker room when DeChambeau won. He was disgusted, knowing that he literally gave the tournament away. He didn't get beat. He gave the tournament away. So that's my thing. The man just gave a tournament away. So he's got to be disgusted with that. He's got to be disgusted with that. But that's golf. Golf is tough. Anybody that's played it, that's out here, we know golf is tough. You get in those pressure situations, but that's a tough way to lose a major. That is a tough way to lose a major. I mean, think of 4 bogeys, or excuse me, 3 bogeys in the last 4 holes when you're up 2 shots. And it's not just that. He had played outstanding to get to that point. Oh, my God. He had played outstanding to get to that point. So, I got to get rid of some idiots over here. I apologize. But yeah, just outstanding golf to get that lead and then to have it just choke away and literally choke away because, again, you got beat by somebody who wasn't playing well. DeChambeau had one good shot. He was not playing well. He couldn't hit a drive down the fairway to save his life yesterday. Couldn't buy a fairway if he wanted to. That's tough. That's tough for Rory, man. That is tough for Rory. So, very tough. Very, very tough. So, I appreciate everybody being in here, man. Again, if you're in here, thank you for joining. Remember to like, follow. There's a live link. I'm looking right at you on a certain platform. There's a live link that you can click on. I'm going to get frozen up on. So if you don't want that to happen and you want to continue to watch, click on the live link and come on over, man. I appreciate it. I absolutely appreciate it. But yeah, that was a tough one. My man, Pat Cockrell. Yeah, Roy choked. Yeah. That was ugly, man. That was ugly. That was bad. Whew. That was bad. So, what's going on, people? What is going on? Glad everybody is here today. But I don't know if y'all, again, I don't know if we have a lot of big-time golf fans. I know there's a lot of casual golf fans like myself that don't watch all that often now that Tiger can't play anymore. I was one of those Tiger Woods fans. And now that Tiger can't play, and let's not kid ourselves, Tiger Woods can't play anymore. He's finished. I don't get as excited as I used to get. I was a Tiger Woods fan. That's why I watch golf. Literally. People act like that's a bad thing. No, it isn't. I watch golf because of Tiger Woods. People are watching WNBA basketball because of Caitlin Clark. We'll get into a little bit of that here in just a second. So, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, yeah, what's going on, Brevin? I'm glad you're back in the show, man. Thank you for joining us again. Said Bryson deserved that Been putting in the work these last couple. Hey, you look at the last 3 majors. Well, he won the US Open. He came in second at the PGA. And what was he, 6th at the Masters? He's been okay. So if he can win the British Open, that's pretty good. Pretty good year for him. Considering. So Ben Tatum said, I thought the tournament was very entertaining. Choke made it even more funny. I mean, I hate to see somebody fall apart like that. Don't get me wrong. I feel bad, but let's just call truth. Is they got beat. They got beat and they choked. So they got beat. Got to get some idiots out of here. I apologize. So yeah, it's wild, man. It's absolutely wild. That was a good tournament, but Rory, Lord have mercy. I feel bad for Rory. He was hyped as one of the guys to replace Tiger. And has not lived up to it at all. No, he hasn't. Remember here, if you remember this, and this is why a lot of Tiger fans have no issue with Rory choking, and they love that he can't win any more majors and really can't win golf tournaments in general, is if you remember when Tiger first started struggling and they were going to the Ryder Cup, and Rory ran his trap off talking about, yeah, we'd love to play against Tiger Woods. And I think him and Tiger must have had some sort of meeting. And then Tiger came back and then went on another little tear. And I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? I'm like, I mean, you're trying to kick a man when he's down. You haven't accomplished a damn thing. And apparently golf karma is coming back to bite him because he can't buy a major. He can't buy a major. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Austin Reno, I have been here every morning. I've been here. I haven't gone anywhere. YouTube messes, or not YouTube, but TikTok messes with me. So it gets frozen up. If you don't want that to happen, it's about to happen here in about less than 5 minutes. Go click on the bio, click on the live link, come on over to YouTube, man. Much more enjoyable. Much, much more enjoyable. So we appreciate that. But yeah, DeChambeau wins the tournament. He wins the US Open. But man, did Rory McIlroy ever choke. Again, up 2, 4 to go, playing great, and then you bogey 3 of the last 4 holes, including missing for par, missing a 2.5-footer and a 4-footer. Lord have mercy. I mean, on a par 3, you get 3 putts inside of 20 feet. That is horrible. Just horrible. But that's golf, man. That's golf. Let's move on. More Angel Reese against Caitlin Clark stuff. We saw it again, people. It was ugly. So it was ugly. Flagrant foul. Angel Reese. She's going for the ball. Now, here's my thoughts. And you guys feel free to weigh in. Angel Reese is going for the ball. I don't think she meant to hit her in the head. I think she probably meant to foul her, but I don't think she meant to hit her in the head because she hit her in the head pretty hard. But here's what nobody wants to talk about. Angel Reese is not athletic. So her trying to go block a shot like that, she had no chance to block a shot. And she hit her in the head. Flagrant 1. Deserved it. It is what it is. She deserved it. But the rest got the call right. That's number 1. So you move on from there. But then Angel Reese, after the game, blaming the refs, saying the refs got in the way. I know they don't fine WNBA players because they don't make much money, but I would fine her ass. You know, talking about the refs cost them the game, the refs were bad. If that's an NBA player, they're losing $100,000. You know, if that was a coach, you're getting $100,000. You know, I'm not telling you to fine her $100,000. They don't even make that. But fine her something. Let them feel it. Hey, man, if it's good for WNBA players, it's got to be good for them too. And it was a flagrant foul. So it was a flagrant foul. She fouled her. She blamed the refs on why they got beat. How about you're just not a very good basketball team? That could be it. You know, that could be it. They're just not a very good basketball team. Let's just say that. Let's just call truth what's true. They're not any good. And the Indiana Fever are better than them. And they've beat them twice. Close games, but they've beat them twice. So, and my man Jay says the WNBA is a joke, especially how they dropped the ball with CC and the Team USA. Well, Jay, you do know that Team USA and WNBA have absolutely nothing to do with each other, correct? You do know that. So while I agree she should have been on the team, the Olympic Committee doesn't work for the WNBA. So they don't work for each other. So do I think Caitlin Clark is having an impressive rookie year? I wouldn't say impressive. I think she's doing fine. But I was never one of those guys that thought that Caitlin Clark was going to come in and dominate the WNBA. I never thought that. I was never one of those guys that said that Caitlin Clark was the greatest college basketball player ever, the greatest women's player. Yeah, I was never that guy. And if y'all have paid attention, y'all have been here, you know that I've never said she was. Never thought that, never believed it. I'm not saying she can't be, but she wasn't the greatest college basketball player ever. That wasn't true. And can she be the greatest WNBA player? Of course she can. Sure. Will she be? Probably not. But that doesn't mean she can't be. And quiet as kept, I'm actually rooting for her to be. Because I don't want to see the league fold. I don't want to see the league fold. So, I just don't. Tristan, be careful who you're calling boy, man. Let's not do that. Okay? Let's not do that. Better yet, let's just do this. Lord have mercy. Some people, you give them an inch and they take a mile. But yeah, I like Caitlin Clark. I think her rookie year is going fine. Angel Reese, classless move. Now, I know there's going to be people that jump on this and say that she's classless. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying what she did was classless. And not the foul. The foul was basketball. The foul was absolutely basketball. She's going for it. It's a hard foul. That's what happens, man, in basketball. There's hard fouls. Caitlin Clark is not immune to that. Neither is anybody else, by the way. Angel Reese included, because she's been fouled hard. It's okay. It happens in basketball. But after the game is where the classless came into play. Blaming refs, saying people got a certain whistle. Come give me a break. You hit somebody in the head. What are you talking about? Oh, it wasn't that big of a deal. Well, nobody said it was a big deal. All you had to say was, yeah, I hit her. I was going for the ball. It was a basketball play, but clearly it was a flagrant foul. I got to be better. Move on. When have you ever heard Angel Reese ever say, I've got to be better? Let me just ask you that. When have you ever heard her say, yeah, I have to be better? That's all I'm saying. I think she's a good player. I don't think she's very athletic, but I think she's a very good player. But she's got to do better. You know, she doesn't have to give a soundbite at every press conference and speaking for her. So, yes, she said the refs had a magic whistle. I'm like, just shut up and play. Jiminy Christmas. So we're talking about my man Pat Cockrell says, speaking for myself, I only know who Angel Reese is because of her outward hatred of Caitlin Clark. Well, that's not really true, Pat. You know her because she was the finals MVP of the 2023 NCAA tournament. And she was very good in that tournament. That's why you know her. Let's not say that her outward hatred for Caitlin Clark. What did she do in that game? She got in her face after they won and rubbed it in her face. Well, that don't mean you hate somebody. So, and so maybe she should be grateful for giving her a name. Yeah, Pat, that's pretty weak, my man. That's pretty weak. Angel Reese didn't need her to give her a name. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people watched that basketball game in 2023. Caitlin Clark lost that game, and Angel Reese played outstanding. So, and you can say, well, they were only watching to see Caitlin Clark, and that might be true. But if she wasn't there, people still would have watched, and they'd know who she is. Would her name be as big? Probably not. So you're probably right there. But Caitlin Clark didn't give her name. Don't go that route. That's just blatant disrespect. Come on, man. You're better than that. You're better than that. And I don't think anybody, and maybe they're jealous of Caitlin Clark or all the attention she gets, but that doesn't mean they have to hate her. I don't think anybody hates her. So, but yeah, I don't think that anybody gave anybody's name, man. Come on, Pat. You gotta be better than that, bro. Gee, many Christmas. Like I said, Angel Reese is crazy. And I think she's got to be better with the sound bites and the press conference. First of all, she got to be a better player, but she's not playing bad either. I mean, she's averaging a double-double, with very, very limited athletic ability. Nobody wants to talk about that with Angel Reese. Like, Angel Reese is not strong. I think she's got a lot of strength that she can build upon. She's not strong. She is definitely not athletic. She is not athletic at all. Look at the way she runs or the way she jumps. Angel Reese is not strong. She's not athletic. She's still averaging a double-double in a women's league where there are a lot of strong, athletic women. So she's doing okay. She knows how to play basketball. Jealous of the attention? Yeah. Is she upset? That she may be upset because her team isn't any good. That's part of it. Nobody wants to talk about that and just speak the truth. The Chicago Sky stink, just like the Indiana Fever. They stink. The Fever have 5 wins? And they've all come against Chicago and Washington, teams that stink? Well, there you go. And the Atlanta Dream, who's terrible? So that's what I'm talking about. Just speak the facts on what we know. On what we know. Y'all know how we do it here, man. On what we know. My man Austin, the Fever and Sky are both bad, which makes all of this kind of frustrating. Yes, WNBA is hanging on to their storylines for its life. Yeah. And the one thing, Austin, you're 100% right. And another thing that hurts them is that Asia Wilson is the best player in the league. No question about it. But the Las Vegas Aces are playing bad this year. So you can't even say, hey, look at the best player in the league. Look what her team is doing. The WNBA can't even hold on to that. They're like, oh, my God, Aces, what is going on? Let's go. You got the best player in the league. We got the eyeballs. Let's go. And they can't do it. They can't do it. So that hurts. It's ugly, man. It's ugly. It's ugly. So that's a great point, Austin. Great point. So, Angel Reese, attitude, gets much needed eyes and column inches for WNBA. That's not a bad take. Not bad at all, actually. Not bad at all. Don't think it's a bad take at all. And who knows what people have said for her to do. Who knows what that is? All I know is yesterday was not her finest hour. She didn't have a great day. They got beat, frustrated because you can't beat this team that isn't very good. Aaliyah Boston ate her and Camila Cardosa, ate them alive. And Caitlin Clark had a really good game. You had a blatant foul that you knew, or a flagrant foul that you knew is going to be played all over the airwaves, all around the country for the next 3 or 4 days. You know that. And instead of you just saying, hey, man, it was a flagrant foul, it was a basketball play, but I hit her. The right call was made. Let's move on. We have to be better. At some point, Angel Reese has to just say stuff like that and stop saying, I'm responsible for people watching WNBA basketball. It wasn't just one person. Okay, we know that. I mean, what are you trying to say that to try to get what? I just don't understand that. I don't understand that. I have no problems with people being arrogant. I don't. But it's also got to be in context. It's got to make sense. Not a fine day for Angel Reese yesterday. Not a fine day. Playing well as a rookie. You got to give her that. But yesterday was not one of her finest hours. It just wasn't. It just wasn't. All right, let's move on to Game 5, man. NBA basketball. Look, we didn't cover Game 4. It was Friday. The game was Friday. But we didn't cover Game 4. Boston literally didn't even try. Let's just call it what it is, man. Boston didn't even try to win Game 4. They quit about the 8-minute mark of the second quarter. That basketball game was over. It was over. They should be ashamed of themselves. Charles Barkley said it right. They were unprofessional. He's exactly right. They weren't. They weren't trying to win. It just seemed like, we don't want to win in Dallas. We want to win back in Boston. Okay. Luka did his thing after being embarrassed in Game 3. He came out and played well. But did he play well, or did Boston just say, hey, we're going to give you one? Because you knew Boston was going to give him a game. You knew it. So, but be careful. That's all I'm going to say. Be careful. Because if you guys remember correctly, Boston themselves was in a series last year down 3-0. And the series ended up going 7 games. So all I'm saying is be careful. Because I think you got to win. You have to win Game 5. You have to. Because here's what I will say. If you don't win Game 5, and Jason Tatum, oh, Lord, let's cover that. Let's backtrack. Jason Tatum coming out and saying, well, if we don't win Game 5, it's not the end of the world. We got other opportunities. Will you shut up? Oh, my God. I am so sick of this dude. Just shut up. What are you talking about? How about, hey, man, we want to win Game 5, put the hammer down and end this series. We got other opportunities. What? That's why he is not a superstar, people. That is why Jason Tatum is not a superstar. Since when? If we don't win, we got a couple more opportunities. What? I'm sorry. If your leader and your superstar is saying that, you got a problem. He ain't the leader. I'm sorry. He is not the leader. That is not the mentality that you need to have. Not even close. Jiminy Christmas. I just, how does that even come to your lips to say, well, it's not the end of the world if we don't win this. We've got a couple other opportunities. Get out of here, Jason Tatum. I'm done with it. Done. Oh, by the way, if they do happen to win the final, he ain't going to get the MVP. He ain't getting the MVP. Not even close. Shut all that up. Jeez. But one thing I will say, getting back to my point, I remember that about Jason Tatum. I heard him that interview. I'm furious. But getting back to the point is they better be careful. Because if they don't win Game 5, and again, Jason Tatum doesn't think it's that big of a deal, I guarantee you they're not winning Game 6. I can guarantee that. If they don't win Game 5, Dallas is probably blowing Boston out in game 6 because now they got momentum and now they've got life. And they let momentum and life get in game 4 because role players started making shots. Role players made some shots. Hell, Tim Hardaway Jr. hadn't made a damn shot, what was it, since May 18th. What the hell? Now, he hadn't played a lot, but he hadn't made a shot in a month. Got hot. Other players got hot. Look out, Boston. You better end it in 5. Because if you don't end it in 5, you're getting blown out in game 6, and then it's game 7 for all the marbles. And then what? You think Luka with the opportunity to shut everybody, me, Brian Windhorst, everybody that has been crucifying him, you don't think Luka comes out in a game 7 and plays his ass off? You're damn right he's going to. And by the way, if Luka does that, Boston can't stop him. Just so we're clear, Boston can't stop Luka. So you better win tonight, because if you don't, it's a game 7. Ugly. Jason Tatum. Just get out of here. Let me go to some comments here, man. My man Wakan, what's going on, man? Boston could fall into a trap. Yes, if they take their foot off the pedal. Dallas is too good to be playing around with. Yes. Don't mess around. I'm telling you. Let yourself get beat at home in game 5. You're going to a game 7. And we know Boston don't like game 7. We know Jason Tatum. We know how he is. Now, he's had a great game 7 in his past. Don't get me wrong. Y'all think that's going to happen in this finals? The way he's played this playoffs? You think Jason Tatum's going off for one of those, virtuoso games? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. My man Brevin should have just got it over with. Yes, I would laugh. They blew the first ever 3-0 league comeback in NBA history. I would laugh too. And then we could absolutely put to bed all the Jason Tatum is an all-NBA superstar. We could put all that to bed and never talk about it again, by the way. They lose 3-0 or up 3-0 and they lose this series, we can never, ever talk about Jason Tatum being a superstar. I don't care what he does. Never again. Stop the madness. Stop the madness. Jiminy Christmas. My man Austin. Only Tatum would make excuses for a game they haven't even played yet. Exactly. Already trying to find a bailout. Already building in the excuse wagon. Well, if we don't win, it's not the end of the world. We still have some other opportunities. That was the benefit of us going up 3-1. Man, if you don't shut your dumb ass up. Oh, I apologize, people. It just fires me up. I can't believe that people would be that weak. I can't. You got an opportunity to win a world title. And you just wanted to just somehow just happen. Instead of trying to put a stranglehold on it. But I guess that's this generation. I apologize. I'm just not that way. I would rather put my foot down and I see you down and you're my opponent. I'll step on your throat and let your throat explode. That's my mentality. I could care less. I want to win. I want to beat you into submission. And when I see you submitting, I'm going to give you a couple more shots just for good measure. But no, not Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum, hey, it's okay, guys. We lost. If we don't win tonight, that's okay. We've got some other opportunities. It's no big deal. Soft. Jason Tatum. You know what Jason Tatum is? Fraud. Fraud of the week, people. We haven't done fraud of the week in a long time. I'm out. Jason Tatum needs to have a 40-point game tonight. For me to even think about being anywhere close to being back on board with Jason Tatum, I need 40 tonight. in a closeout. That's what I need. I need 40 in a closeout. Otherwise, I just, the mentality is just ridiculous. The mentality is, what are your teammates supposed to think about that, man, when they hear that? What are they supposed to say if you're the leader? If you are leading the team, what are they supposed? Oh, well, if Jason don't think it's a big deal, then I shouldn't think it's a big deal. Okay. My man Pat Cockrell. There you go, Pat. I'm sold. Jaylen Brown, 100% better player than Tatum. And remember, Jaylen Brown can barely dribble with his left hand. But I'm all in. I just, mentality has to count for something, don't it, people? It can't just be about the ability. He talks about how he loves Kobe. Kobe was his mentor, and he trained with Kobe. Kobe is going to burst out of his grave and come and just strangle Jason Tatum. Do you think Kobe Bryant would have said that? I mean, just think about that for a second. Do you believe that Kobe Bryant would have said, we want to win tonight, but if we don't, it's not that big a deal. We still have some more opportunities. Do you think, matter of fact, do you think Kobe Bryant even said something like that in his entire life? I mean, I don't care what you're talking about. Who can spit the farthest as a kid? Who is best in marbles? Yeah, I mean, come on, man. This mentality of these people these days. These guys, Jiminy Christmas. Go fight for something. It's okay to be mad. It's okay to be tough. It's okay to want something so bad, and you can taste it, and you're going to do anything in your power to get it. It's okay. And even if you fail going 100 miles an hour, and then you get back, you know what? We wanted it last game. We fell on our face. Period. End of story. That will not happen this game. What's wrong with saying that? Because deep down, I think Jason Tatum knows, hey man, I can't guarantee. I don't have it. I can't guarantee what's going to happen. So then I got to build in excuses, just like my man Austin said. Get out of here with that, man. Get out of here with that. Jiminy Christmas. Brevin, there it is. Jason Tatum is a regular season star, not postseason. He's not a superstar. He's just not a superstar. He's just not a superstar, man. That mean, there it is. So, he's just not a superstar. Oh, yeah. Here's a good point. Luka actually played a little defense in Game 4. Darren Howard says Luka came out and played something that resembled defense in Game 4. It was amazing. All people have been asking out of Luka is just a little bit of effort. Just some effort. That's all. You don't have to be a stopper. You don't have to shut guys down. Just make proper rotations. Try to keep people in front of you. Fight. If they're going to go around you, make them work for it. They shouldn't just be blowing by you. Jiminy Christmas. And now granted, Boston wasn't playing hard, so I understand that. But at least it looked good. It looked good. So, it looked good. So, my man X Capone says you play to win, just don't play as a pacifist. Yeah, I can't get past it. I can't get past it. Jiminy Christmas. Just brutal. Brutal. That's all I'm saying. Tatum is a great 2, not a 1. Kobe rolling over in his grave. I don't even know if Kobe's rolling over in his grave. Kobe sat up and is looking Jason Tatum directly in his eyes. What the hell are you talking about, man? If you don't shut up, that's what's happening right now. That's what's happening right now. So, Yes. Yes, Pat. Yes. That is perfect. That is the perfect quote. We're talking about the same guy who was pissed in a press conference with a 2-0 lead when a reporter asked him if he felt good. Kobe was irate. What should I feel good about? Job's not done. Is the job done? No, it's not. So there's nothing to feel good about. And then you got Jason Tatum. Well, if we lose, it's okay. It's okay. Oh, man. I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. So it's unbelievable. The mindset of this generation. It's just unbelievable. And you can say he's just one guy, but Jason Tatum is a big part of what this generation is. We all know that. And it's the buddy system. LeBron is part of that. LeBron played in so many different eras as he's played so long. He's part of that. I mean, let me not get started. But he didn't start it. So let's not go down that route. But this is just ridiculous. That's a horrible quote. A horrible quote. So crazy, man. Let's go to open mic because I'll be talking about this all day if you let me. I'd be talking about this all day long if you let me about how Jason Tatum is just soft. Can't believe it. Cannot believe it, man. Hey, it's okay if we lose. We've got some other opportunities, So we've built up some cachet. It's okay. It's okay if we don't win. Mm, mm, mm. Lord, I don't get it, people. I don't get it. First of all, am I wrong? Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. I can take it. If I'm wrong and basically bashing Jason Tatum for him being soft as a piece of cotton, am I wrong? I can be wrong. I'm not going to like it, but that don't mean I don't agree with you if I'm wrong. So, what's my man can say? Boston should get a restraining order against Tatum's mouth. Oh, man. No, you know what they need to do? Jason Tatum said that. You know what they need to do? They lock his ass up in a padded room and throw away the damn key. Lock him up in a padded room and throw away the key. What the hell are you talking about, Jason Tatum? It's okay if we lose because we have some more opportunities. Hey, we're just going to give this team that had no hope, we're all of a sudden going to give them all this momentum. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Y'all want to change the subject. Y'all want to talk some college football, some NFL, how Rory choked, Angel Reese hitting Caitlin. If y'all want to change the subject, feel free to do it. If not, I'm perfectly fine. I will talk about this all day long. I literally could talk about it all day long. Soft ass. Unbelievable. I just can't, people. I can't. God. Oh, my goodness. I just think, look, my favorite player, and y'all know this, my favorite player of all time is Larry Bird. Can you imagine Larry Bird saying, well, we got him down 3-1, but if we don't win, that's okay. We got some other opportunities. It's no big deal. Not the end of the world. Can you imagine Larry Bird saying that or Magic saying that? Can you imagine that? Oh, my God. So, So, hey, Big B, are you team black or team green for House of the Dragon? I'll be honest, I don't even know what that is, bro. I have no clue what that is. No clue whatsoever. So, yeah, what can Ayuk turn down? $26 million contract. Does he get a better deal or do they trade him? I don't think San Francisco is going to trade him. I think San Francisco is like, we're trying to win the Super Bowl this year. You're going to help. We're paying you $14 million. Not like you're not getting paid. We're going to pay you $14 million. Either you take the money or you don't. But we're not trading you this year. So you're either going to play here or you're not going to play football this year. You decide. But you're not getting another contract. We gave you the best offer. You don't want to do it? Then don't do it. Okay. And I don't think they'll trade him. If I'm San Francisco, I don't trade him. And not only that, who are you going to trade him to? The Steelers are not going to give Brandon Ayuk $26 million a year. That ain't going to happen. I can just tell you that right now. That ain't going to happen. And the Steelers, and I love my Steelers, we got to spend some money on offense because we're not spending any money on offense right now. And at sooner or later, you got to start doing that if you're trying to win in this league. You got to spend some money on offense. But Brandon Ayuk is not the guy. He's just not the guy. George Pickens is the guy. But Brandon Ayuk, I don't even think Ayuk is better than Pickens. I don't believe that. So why go trade for a guy and pay him more money and knowing that you're going to have to pay Pickens too? Nope. I don't do it. And then who else is going to go give him that kind of money? I mean, who's going to give Brandon Ayuk $30 million based on his body of work? I just don't see that out there. Maybe there's a team. Maybe Buffalo. Maybe Buffalo decides they want to get into the Brandon Ayuk sweepstakes. But if it were me, nope. Trevor Lawrence, Lord have mercy. I just let me just say this about Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback. At what point are owners going to say you're a good quarterback, so I'm going to pay you good money? When does that going to happen? How, on what world, or in what world should Trevor Lawrence, whose claim to fame is coming back from a 27-0 playoff game where, Brandon Staley, Justin Herbert, the Chargers just gagged the game away. That's his claim to fame. The following season wasn't good enough to make the playoffs. The season before that, they couldn't make the playoffs. So, in what world does Trevor Lawrence make more money than number one Herbert, who's better than him, Jalen Hurts, who's been to a Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes, I don't even think we need to talk about him, Josh Allen, who is better than Trevor Lawrence, and a two-time MVP Lamar Jackson? In what world does he make more money than those guys? Apparently this one, because that's exactly what happened. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. You don't have to break. And then, people were arguing with me saying, well, somebody was going to pay him. Well, then let them pay him. Are the Jaguars really that worse off if they had to go get another quarterback than Trevor Lawrence? Like, do we think that the Jaguars have a Super Bowl roster? Hell no, they don't. But you're going out and giving this guy $200 million guaranteed. $275 over the length of the contract. 5 years. He makes more money than Patrick Mahomes. You think that's justified? I mean, whatever. Good for him, though. Good for him. He got the money. And let him lead him to a bunch of 10-7 and 9-8 records. And they'll win a couple of division titles because that division's pretty bad. Maybe. Because if Houston keeps getting better, I expect Houston to win the division this year. So maybe the Colts look like they can have some, although I'm not a believer in Anthony Richardson. I still haven't seen Anthony Richardson complete a 5-yard slant route accurately. I still haven't seen that. So, but whatever. Rob Johnson says Ayuk to the Chargers. Maybe. I don't disagree. Chargers need receivers and younger ones that aren't injury prone. So, yeah, could make sense. They got to start paying some people too. Other than Herbert, they got to start paying some people too. So, Austin thinks that both the NHL and the NBA finals end in gentlemen sweeps, 5-game series. That could very well be true. That could be true. Edmonton made their last stand, ended up blowing out Florida, so they made their last stand. So we'll see. We will see. Steelers can't and won't spend the money until they have a confirmed quarterback one in the future. Exactly. He means nothing if we don't have a franchise quarterback. Exactly. That's I don't know why people can't understand that. Like, they're not going to trade Brandon Ayuk or for Brandon Ayuk and pay him that kind of money when you don't have a number one quarterback. You're not going to do that. You're just not. And if it doesn't work out with Russ and Fields, they'll go back and they'll go look for a free agent or they'll draft a guy. But yeah, they're not going and paying him. They might pay, and they're not going to give up draft capital to go do it. They can pay Pickens. So, crazy. Ooh. Trevor Lawrence is Jared Goff with long hair, minus the playoff success. I mean, people pick on Jared Goff. He's been to a Super Bowl and an AFC champion or an NFC championship game. I mean, those are just facts. And he was responsible for the teams getting there. Like, he played well for them to get to the Super Bowl. Now, he didn't play well in the Super Bowl, but leading up to the Super Bowl, Jared Goff played well. He played well getting Detroit to the NFC championship game last year. Now, in the second half of that game, he played lousy, but until that point, he played pretty damn good. So we can say that Trevor Lawrence is Jared Goff with long hair, but throw in minus the playoff success. Throw that in too, because that absolutely is the truth. So, my man, great live as always. We appreciate you, man, with the super chat. Thank you, Wakan. We appreciate you. We 100% appreciate you. I know you can't come in every day, man, but we absolutely appreciate you. Thank you for that super chat. All employees, including football players, are paid based on what it would cost to replace them. That's not true. That's not true, David. Football players are not paid on what it would cost to replace them. Because if they got rid of Trevor Lawrence today, they're not paying a guy $275 million to replace him. That ain't happening. So that's just not true. The New York Giants paid Daniel Jones $40 million a year. If they could get out of that contract right this very second, they would do it. If they could cut Daniel Jones and not have to pay him another cent, they would do it before I could get it out of my mouth. So no. Football is not that way. It is definitely not that way because there's a salary cap. So when guys get cut, they usually get replaced with guys that are cheaper that can do the same job. So it actually works the exact opposite. In football, there's a salary cap, yeah. So no. There's plenty of guys out there that's why guys get cut. They're making too much money for what their production is. So they get cut. Teams replace them with guys that can do the job for cheaper. So, it's ugly. It's ugly. QB position, it's more about the threat of being a team without a QB and being the Browns. No QB for 20 plus years. If you're decent with some upside, you can hold teams ransom. You can, but if I'm an owner, at some point, owners got to fight back. At some point, an owner has to fight back and just say, hey, man, you are not worth this money. We've seen enough. You're not worth it. Or you're not as good as this guy that's getting paid this kind of money. And if their comeback, well, I don't have the same kind of team around him. Patrick Mahomes didn't have a receiver that could even catch a damn football this year, and they won a Super Bowl. I don't want to hear it. You're not worth that, and you're not getting paid that. If you want to go get paid that, you can. We'll go somewhere else. We'll find another way. At some point, owners just have to fight back. You got to stop paying for mediocrity. You got to stop paying for mediocrity. Or maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just continue to do it. And again, I'm not mad at Trevor Lawrence for taking the money. I'm not mad at him for taking it. You take what somebody's willing to give you. But, yeah, look at Kirk Cousins. Perfect example. The greatest agent in the history of the National Football League. One playoff game, the guy's made 3. When this contract is over, he's going to have made $425 million. Think about that. Kirk Cousins for one playoff win. At some point, owners got to start saying enough is enough. And he got overpaid this year because Arthur Blank was an idiot and wouldn't go get a quarterback last year and thought they were going to win with Desmond Ridder. Oh, my God. Jeez. And they had a roster that could have won. Yeah, they had a roster that could have won a division, won a playoff game. But nope. I'm going to be stubborn. Oh, it didn't work out. Now I got to go overpay for a guy who hasn't proven that he can actually win playoff games. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We say these owners are the greatest, but then they make these kind of decisions. And you can even say, well, the general manager made the decision. Really? Do we believe that? That it's all the general manager and they have carte blanche and they don't have to ask the owner for nothing. This is what we're paying. This is how I'm divvying it up. Maybe it is at some places, but it ain't at most. You're telling me a billionaire is just going to take his finger off the pulse of probably his most prized franchise, prized asset? I don't think so. And they want to win. So, but we'll see. We'll see. It's ugly. It's ugly. Yeah, at some point, owners got to fight back. They got to start making sense. I know they're holding teams hostage, but if I'm them, I'm like, look, it's just like Dallas. Jerry Jones is finally standing his ground and saying, look, Dak, you've been here 8 years, man. You're making all this money. No, I'm not giving you no extension until you prove you can get to at least the NFC Championship game. If you can't, then I'll go a different direction as a quarterback because clearly you're not it. And you made a killing, and we can't win. At some point, you just have to say enough's enough. Enough is enough. And Dak, if you think that you can go somewhere else and make that kind of money, God bless you. But it's not working here at the Cowboys any longer. And here's the thing. I'm a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I would take Dak Prescott in a second to be our quarterback right now. Right now. Because I think half of Dak's problem is being in Dallas. I think that's half the problem. I really do. But I would take him over who we had. I don't know about paying him $60 million a year. I don't think I'm going to do that. And I don't think anybody else will either when it comes time to sign Dak Prescott to a new contract. Who's going, and unless he wins the MVP and they go out and make it to an NFC championship game, I don't think teams are lining up to pay Dak $60 million a year. I just don't believe that's going to happen. I don't believe it. And if I'm Jerry Jones, I stick to my guns. And that probably means Dak walks at the end of the year. Well, then he walks. Go find you a new quarterback. That's what I would do. Appreciate y'all, man. Good show today. Great show today. Not even a good show today, man. Great show today. I appreciate you all jumping in, being energetic. Thank you, guys. Your all's energy helps my energy, so I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. We're going to find out if Jason Tatum wants to win a game tonight or not. We're going to find out if he's okay with that. Lord have mercy. God knows that he doesn't think it's that big of a deal to lose an NBA Finals game. He doesn't think it's that big of a deal to close out somebody. Just, we'll close them out when we close them out. Who knows? We're going to find out. Let Jason Tatum play bad and them lose tonight. We won't even have topics tomorrow, people. We won't even have topics. We won't. The only thing we're talking about is Jason Tatum. That's it. That's it. Hopefully, though, hopefully he has a great game and they end up closing it out. Hopefully that's what happens. Either way, I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for showing up and showing out as you always do. I appreciate it. Come back tomorrow. I got a feeling we're going to have something good tomorrow, man. I will holler at you guys. Aloha.